everyone, my name is Chrissy and I'm here to deliver your beginner's yoga session today. So today we're going to start seated, so make sure that you've got your mat, maybe some water, and if you possibly can, something that looks a little bit like this. This is a yoga block. You can use a nice chunky hardback book, that'd be really good as well, and maybe a couple of cushions if you can steal them from around the house. So we're going to get started. I am sitting on one of the blocks today, but if you'd like to, maybe you can use a cushion if that's more comfortable for you. We just want to elevate the hips a little bit so that we have more space to do our breath practice. So when you're sitting in a comfortable seat, and if this really isn't comfortable for you, that's absolutely fine. You could actually start this bit on a chair, or you could come to sit on your knees like that, on your shins. So lots of different options for the start of class. Wherever you are, I'd like you to think about creating a nice, long, tall spine. So just settle into the breath a little bit. And when we're thinking about that nice, tall, long spine, maybe just think about dipping the chin a little bit, and that will just lengthen the neck, sitting up nice and tall. And this is just going to allow us to breathe a little bit deeper. So what I want you to start thinking about first of all is taking a nice deep breath through the nose. So inhaling. And then just softening as you exhale, let the breath go. Maybe you'd like to try in through the nose and out through the mouth. So inhaling, exhaling, let it go. And you can soften the eyes here if it feels safe to do so. You can close the eyes completely. And then we're going to begin our breath exercise for today. So what I want you to do is we're going to inhale for the count of 4, we're going to hold for a count of 4, and then we're going to exhale for the count of 6. The only caveat to this is if you are pregnant or have any issues such as COPD, please don't do the breath retention, please don't hold the breath, you can just do the counts in and out. So we're going to get started. So we're going to inhale for 4, 2, 3, 4, hold for 4, 2, 3, 4, out for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in for 4, 2, 3, 4, hold for 4, 2, 3, 4, out for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well done, let's keep going. In for 4, 2, 3, 4, hold for 4, 2, 3, 4, out for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more round. Inhale for 4, 2, 3, 4, hold for 4, 2, 3, 4, out for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well done. And then just let the breath go. So just revert back to your normal breath. So in through the nose. And you can just sigh it out through the mouth. And then if you would like to practice a yogic breath, you could continue inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. But obviously if you've got any colds or anything like that, of course you could breathe in and out through the mouth. So we're going to get started today with a little bit of neck and shoulder work. So I want you to drop your ear down to one shoulder. Doesn't matter which side. And just feeling that lovely opening, lovely stretch on the opposite side of the head. And if you can, try and stay with your breath here. So nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. One more breath here. And then very slowly come back to centre and we'll move to the other side. So just dropping the opposite ear to the shoulder. And then take some nice deep breaths in your own time. And close down the eyes if that feels nice. One more breath. And then very slowly coming back to centre, and maybe just take the head from side to side. Really nice. And then very gently, just sort of halfway up, and then dropping chin to chest. One more time, halfway up. Dropping chin to chest. Lovely work, everyone. Really, really nice. So move into the shoulders, so up and down the back. Oh, my shoulders feel a bit sore today. Lovely. And then if you'd like, taking it into a little bit of an arm circle here. So you're really sort of pushing back. You're trying to get your hands as far back as they will go. Lovely, really nice. Inhaling as they rise, exhaling as they come down. Lovely, really, really nice. One more time. Beautiful, really, really nice work. Okay, come off your block, your prop, whatever you were sat on. We're going to come into tabletop position. So tabletop position, we are thinking about our shoulders over our wrists and our hips over our knees. So we're in that lovely sort of square rectangular shape. And now what I want you to think about is your position on the mat here. So think about pressing the hands down into the earth a little bit. So just very gently pressing, pressing, pressing. And then at the same time, think about gently pulling the belly towards the spine. So there's a little bit of engagement across the torso, across the core. And then as we're pushing, we're feeling a little bit of activation in the shoulders as well. So everything's switched on. Maybe a slight engagement of the glutes, of the bum. Really, really nice. Okay, we're going to move into our Superman or Superwoman. And we are going to extend our right leg back towards the back of the mat. And we're going to extend our left arm forward. So opposite arm to leg. Now you've got a couple of options here. If this feels really, really wobbly, what you can do is you can keep everything on the floor and you can just slowly glide them in and glide them back out. So that will be still a lot of work on the arm, a lot of work on the core, but it's going to mean it's going to help your balance a little bit. You can also just work with the leg if that helps. If you'd like to go into full Superman or woman, you're going to extend the leg back, extend the arm forward, and then we're lifting them off the mat. So really engaging in that core, pulling the belly towards the spine. And then we're going to squeeze the elbow and the knee together. And then slowly take it back out. Really, really nice. This is a breath exercise. So exhale as you come in. Inhale as you take it out. Exhale. Inhale. One more time. Nice and slow. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Take it back out. And then drop the hand down, drop the leg down. Really nice. Maybe give yourself a nice little wiggle if that's what you need to do. And then we're going to go on the other side. So again, gently pulling belly towards the spine. Make sure there's activation in the arms and the hands. We're going to take the opposite leg out. So mine is left leg and right arm. But obviously if you did the other side, do the other side. And again, you've got the option. You can just keep everything on the floor, everything on the mat. And very gently glide everything in and out. If you'd like to go a little bit more juicy, you can take the leg up, take the arm up, and then we're squeezing on the exhale, bringing knee towards the elbow. Inhale, slowly extend. Exhale. Inhale, take it back out, nice and controlled. Exhale, sorry. Inhale, take it back out, last time. Exhale. Inhale, take it back out. Lovely. Drop the hand down, drop the leg down, give yourself a little bit of a wiggle. And then we're going to move through our cat and our cow. So again, activating into the hands. We're just going to release the belly a little bit. So drop the belly down, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the heart, lift the chest. And then exhale, we round down, we drop the chin towards the chest. Press the arms actively away from the earth. Let the head fall where it naturally falls. And again, inhale, lifting up. Exhale, rounding down. And we're always staying in touch with the breath. So yoga is a moving meditation. Everything we do, it prepares us to be still, to be more still, to still the fluctuations of the mind. So everything is to be done with the breath. Inhaling as you lift up. Exhaling as you drop the head down. Lovely, really nice. Come back to tabletop, so a neutral spine again. You can just sit back and you can just shake out the wrists if you feel like there was a lot of weight, a lot of tension in them. That's absolutely fine. We're going to go back into that tabletop position. We're going to take some arm circles, really lovely arm circles, and then we're going to move to our thread the needle. So I'll show you. So we're going to come back into our tabletop position, activating the belly. We're taking the right arm back and around, all the way over, really slowly, really controlled. All the way up, exhale on the way down. Inhale twice more. Exhale, lovely, last time. Inhale, exhale, and then as you come down, you're going to bring your right arm, you're going to thread it underneath the left shoulder, and you're going to take it as far past the left shoulder as you can, and then you're going to drop onto that right shoulder, drop the head down, and then you'll be in your thread the needle. So I am going to demonstrate it from here as well. So you've got your left hand down, you've got the right arm, we're threading it all the way far as we can go, dropping the head down, and then you can rest there, and your bum is still in the air here. If it feels really uncomfortable, you can sit back into a child's pose. And we're just feeling a lovely opening through the back of the body there. Take one more breath, and then very slowly begin to unravel and come back into your tabletop position. We're going to do that on the other side, exactly the same. So inhale, take the arm back. Exhale, rounding down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, two more. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. As the arm comes down, we're going to thread that left arm underneath the right shoulder. We're going to take the left shoulder as far across the mat as we can, and then we're resting down onto the left side of our face. Bum is still in the air, and we're just popping quite a lot of weight onto that shoulder here, so we're just really sort of opening the side of the body. And you can control this a little bit, so if it feels too much, you can sort of wiggle yourself around. You can move forward, you can move back slightly, you can move to side, and it will just sort of change a little bit how much pressure, how much opening the shoulder has. So you can absolutely play around with this pose if you like. Let's take one more breath, and then when you're ready, unravel. Lovely, and come back to your tabletop position. We're going to tuck the toes, and we're going to move back into our first downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, we are lifting the hips, spreading the fingers out nice and wide, and gently pressing back into the ankles. Don't worry if the ankles don't touch the floor, and don't worry if the legs aren't straight here. So we're really trying to think about a nice long lengthened spine rather than straight legs and sort of the spine just being sort of really far forward and a little bit wonky. You can pedal out the feet here, so pressing one foot into the floor, straightening out the opposite leg. Nice and slowly moving with the breath. Really, really good. And then when you're ready, bend, come onto the heels, come onto the balls of the feet, sorry, look forward, and then we're going to slowly begin to walk to the top of the mat. So walking to the top of the mat, think about finishing with your hips, your feet, God, I've got my words all wrong today, your feet hip width distance apart, a nice soft bend in the knees, and then we're thinking about resting the chest on the thighs. So don't worry if you're sort of wanting to straighten the legs and then your chest is up here. We're not interested in that. We're really not interested in that. This one, we're all about cascading the back
over the legs. So real nice deep bend, however deep the bend needs to be, that's absolutely fine. And we're really thinking about lengthening the spine, letting it go all over the legs. Lovely. And from here you can either grab hold of opposite elbows or you can keep your hands on the floor. You can sway side to side. And this is called your ragdoll pose. And this is what it looks like, grabbing hold of opposite elbows. You can even grab hold of the back of the head. That's quite nice if you feel like normally you're sort of just keeping the head a little bit lifted. Lovely. And then when you're ready, come to a still. Release the grip of the hands wherever the hands were. And then we're coming up to standing. You've got a couple of options here. You can begin to roll up straight. Head is the last thing to come up. Or if you feel like you want to open up the spine, you can begin to just very slowly, very carefully twist around as you begin to come up. So twisty, twisty, twist. And really getting into the mobility of the spine. Head is still the last thing to come up. And then when you're there, come to stillness, come to Tadasana, which is your mountain pose, so feet facing forward, spine nice and strong, just like we were at the beginning, nice and lengthened. Thinking about arms, energy through the fingertips, down by your sides. Closing the eyes, coming back to your breath. Take a couple of breaths here just to ground yourself. Feel your feet grounding into the mat, grounding into the floor. Maybe think about a slight inner and outer smile. Yes, we are allowed to smile in yoga. It doesn't have to be so serious. And then when you're ready, open your eyes. We're going to step straight back to Warrior Two. Woo. Very different. So we're going to take a big step back with our right foot. Our left foot's going to stay forward, and you might need to readjust the feet here because I like to have our Warrior Twos nice and long, nice and spacious. So don't come into a little apologetic Warrior Two and you're like, I'm really sorry I'm here. No, you're very, very happy that you're here. So it's nice and wide, nice and strong. We're thinking about heel to arch alignment, which means the heel of the back front foot is leading into the arch of the back foot. So we're kind of on this nice line. If it doesn't work for your body, don't worry. It's just a little visualization so you can get a sense of where your feet need to be. And then we're bending deeply into that front left knee. We're not letting the knee go right over the toes. We're keeping it at that nice right angle, but then we're actively rooting down through that back foot. So don't just forget about that back leg, forget about the back foot. Even though there's a nice deep bend in here and it's feeling nice and juicy, we're still actively pressing down into the edge of that back foot, really pressing down into the mat. Think about really squeezing in, pulling belly towards the spine, and then shoulders nice and soft here, arms nice and long. Gaze is forward over those front fingers. And then with this knee here, make sure the knee doesn't start to just roll in a little bit. So we're always thinking about the knee tracking out, coming over the little toe of the front foot. Stay with your breath here. Take one more nice, big, deep inhale. And exhale. Lovely. We're going to come into a reverse warrior. So we're flipping the front palm so it faces upwards. Now normally I say keep the knee bent, keep it where it is. But today we're going to straighten out that front leg. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And we're just going to think about lots of length. So you can reach quite far back. Nothing too, we don't want to be kind of like here hanging out like a rag doll in this one. We're more thinking about that energy going up towards the side of the room. Lovely, really, really nice. And then we're opening the chest here, so we're not closing ourselves up. Open, open, open. Twist that chest towards the ceiling as much as possible. And then we're going to flow between these two poses. So we're going to come back to our Warrior Two, and then we're going to lift up into our reverse warrior. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Last time. Exhale. Inhale. Lovely. Bring your arms back to the middle, and then we're going to take a few steps, or maybe one big step towards our Tadasana pose at the top of the mat, so our mountain pose. So maybe rolling the shoulders back, feeling maybe into the different sides of the body. Is there any changes? Are there any changes, sorry? Does anything feel a bit more open on one side? And then we're going to move over to the other side. So warrior two on the other side. So stepping back with your left foot. Nice big step back. I am going to turn around. I'm just making sure you guys know it's on the left foot stepping back. So left foot stepping back, again that heel to arch alignment. And then we're thinking about pulling up through the belly. And we don't want to sort of lean forward here. So we tend to sort of all like lean forward a little bit, but we want to be quite central. So really think about pulling everything right to the center, and then maybe think about deepening the bend in this front knee, making sure the knee is tracking over the little toe of the front foot. Nice soft shoulders and arms, gazing over that front middle finger of the front hand. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Take some nice deep breaths here. Have you forgotten about that back leg? We're really rooting down, really pressing into that outer edge of the back foot, pressing it down into the mat. And then we're going to move to our reverse. So again, we're going to twist the front palm so it's facing upwards, and then lift, 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 and lift the leg this time. Reaching back, creating length, creating space in the side of the body, gazing up. And again, we're thinking about opening the chest towards the ceiling here. So I think sometimes we sort of end up being a bit closed off like this. So really think about where your chest is. So think about where your heart space is. You're twisting, twisting, twisting towards the ceiling. So twisting that part towards the sky. Take some nice deep breaths here. You can gaze up at the top hand, or if that feels too much for the neck, you can drop the head down and look at the back foot. We're going to take that flow here. So we're going to bend deeply into our warrior two. Lift up, straighten the leg. Lifting up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, can you go a little bit deeper? Beautiful, last time. Lovely, really, really nice. So from here, we're going to take one step or maybe a couple of steps towards the top of the mat. Coming into your Tadasana pose, your mountain pose. Obviously you guys will be this side. And maybe just come back to your breath for a moment. You can take a quick drink here, you can take a few shoulder rolls. But just think about your breath here. So are you still moving with your breath? What's going on with the breath? The breath is the most important thing that we do. It's more important than any of the poses we do. It's the only non-negotiable thing. All the poses, you can do options, you can not do them, it doesn't matter, but the breath is so, so, so important to a yoga practice. Otherwise we're just sort of placing our legs everywhere. So we're going to go again from your Tadasana. We're going to step the right foot back. So step it back into that warrior two. So readjust your feet as you need. So you've got that nice stable wide base. Come into your warrior two. And then from here we're going to do again the same thing. Come back into that straight leg reverse warrior. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Opening up through the side of the body. And then we're going to come into our extended side angle. So I want you to bend deeply into that front leg again. And I want you to softly place the forearm on top of the left thigh. And then you're going to sweep the hands across and above the face. So this is your extended side angle. And what I really want you to focus on here is not dumping all the weight. So what I tend to see is that everyone's sort of like, oh, just hang out here. This is nice, I'll just hang out here. No, 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 no. So we're really thinking about very gently placing it here. So maybe, oh, it's like it doesn't matter. It's like it doesn't matter if I have the arm on. So it is a lot harder. Don't worry if it feels too much. That's just the intention of the pose. So you're just feeling like it's a bit lighter. You're not really heavily dumping the weight into the front leg. Lovely. And then the same thing again, we're opening up through the chest. If you want a bit more juice, you can as well. Extend that front arm. Oh my goodness, that is very, very strong. And then bring the arm back. Really, really lovely. And then what we're going to do is come all the way back here, so back into your warrior two, and we can straighten out the legs. And then what I'd like you to do is just take maybe a little step in. Doesn't have to be too much, but just so you're a little bit closer together, a little bit more compact. We're going to come into Trikonasana, triangle pose. So I want you to extend the arms out, keep them nice and soft, and then you're going to reach forward, and then when you can't reach anymore, can't reach, then you begin to bring your arms to 6 and 12 o'clock. And here is your triangle pose, and you don't have to touch the floor, absolutely fine. You can be here. This is still triangle pose. What I want you to think about is leaning back. So if you've got a wall, this is very, very helpful. So if you've got a wall, you're thinking about reach, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, and then I want you to think about leaning back a little bit. So leaning back. Not so that you fall over, but just so that you're kind of opening up your chest a little bit. Really lovely, well done everyone, really great work. We're going to windmill the arms all the way down to the floor, so frame the front foot, hands come either side of the front foot, and then we're going to take an easy twist. You can drop the knee down for this if you like, or you can keep it lifted off the back, off the floor. We're going to keep the right hand down, we're going to lift our left arm into the sky. So if you've got the knee down, it will look like this. And we're just taking nice, big, nourishing breaths here. And it doesn't really matter if you've got the back leg lifted or not. All that will do is it's going to work the leg a little bit more, but the twist is exactly the same whether you've got the knee off or whether you've got the knee down. Really nice. When you're ready, drop the hand down. Take your leg carefully back into that tabletop position. We're going to very slowly lower down, and it's completely up to you how you lower down. So you can lower down all in one. What I would recommend is leaning the weight forward a little bit, and then very, very slowly as possible, bending the elbows back, coming down to the floor. Really, really lovely. And then we're just going to come into a little baby cobra pose. So baby cobra, we're going to take those hands, slide them back a little bit so they're in line with the waist. Squeeze the elbows in towards each other, and then press the feet in towards the mat. Squeeze the bottom. And then when you're ready, tuck the toes, press back and come into a child's pose, a downward facing duck. So we've been here before. So remember, we can have a nice deep bend in the knees if that works better for us. We're just going to take 2 breaths all together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Lovely. Come onto your tippy toes, bend the knees, look forward, and then we're going to step to the top of the mats. We're going to begin to roll all the way up to standing, all the way up to Tadasana, our mountain pose. And then we're going to do our same sequence on the other side. So we're stepping back with the left foot this time into our warrior 2, just like we did before. I am going to demonstrate the other way, but you guys stay where you are. So into that warrior 2, nice soft arms, and then we're going to lift, straighten the leg into that reverse warrior with a straight knee. And then we're going to move into our extended side angle on the opposite side. So re-bending into the front leg, very gently placing the forearm onto the thigh, and then sweeping the arm across and above the face. And really think about, if you feel like you've cracked the not dumping the weight into the leg, really think about now opening up through the chest. So again, I see a lot of extended side angles sort of like here. So I want you to really, really think about opening up through the chest. And what you can do is you can inhale, find a little bit more length, and then exhale, maybe twist a little bit more to the ceiling. You can do it each time. So inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. Try one more time. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. Beautiful, really, really nice. Don't forget about that back leg. Make sure it's nice and rooted down into the floor, and then very slowly we're going to come all the way back up. Remember, we're going to take that little step in so that we're a little bit more compact, but the feet stay in the same direction. And then we're going to come into Trikonasana, triangle pose. So reaching the arms out, we're going to reach that right arm forward. When it can't reach anymore, that's when we take the arms to 6 and 12 o'clock. And then we're thinking about leaning back a little bit, so opening up as if we've got a wall behind us and we're trying to lean a little bit onto the wall. So you're really feeling your hips open here. And really don't worry so much about the shape, just focus more on how it feels in the body. So more of a somatic practice, so you're thinking about how it feels internally rather than how it looks. So don't worry about how it looks, don't worry about how high or how low your arm is on the leg. It's all about this side of the body here, feeling it nice and open. Take a few more breaths. And then when you're ready, windmill the arms all the way down. Bend deeply into that front leg, maybe wiggle the back foot away from you a little bit. You can either drop the knee or keep it lifted. You're going to keep your left hand down on the floor this time. Inhale, lift your right arm into the sky, into your twist. And remember, you can either have the back leg lifted or you can have it grounded. It doesn't make a difference to the twist itself. It's just a little bit more work for the leg. Take nice, deep, full breaths here. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. One more time. Inhaling. Exhaling. And then when you're ready, slowly bring that hand down. You're very carefully going to take the right foot all the way back so that you're in your tabletop position. And then I want you to just come forwards, bring the shoulders forwards a little bit over the wrists. And then very slowly we're going to begin to come down. So just come down as slowly as feels able to you, bending the elbows back. And then when you're there, we're going to come into a baby cobra again, but this time we're going to extend the arms out. We're going to interlace the fingers behind us, squeeze the palms together if you can, or if not, maybe think about pulling the fingertips apart. And then you're going to lift the arms off the tailbone, and it's just going to lift the front of the body. So we're focusing on that posterior chain. And this isn't really a back bend, it's more of a lengthening and strengthening exercise, so it's quite a good one to do if you have a sore back. It's going to strengthen the back a little bit. And then when you're ready, press back, and this time we're going to move into our child's pose. So child's pose, you might need to prop this a little bit. What I would recommend is taking the knees nice and wide. And then what you can do is use your cushions or you can use your props, and you can begin to walk your body down. If the body won't go that far, you can drop your head onto a block or onto your book, onto your cushion. Absolutely fine. If you have quite a lot of cushions, so if you pretend that these are cushions, you can actually as well just drop here as well. That feels really nice. And then you could even just rest your head into your hands. So I know it looks a little bit like despairing, but we know it's just so it feels nice for us. Really nice. If you can go all the way down, you can just slide your hands out and you can drop the head onto the mat. And we're just going to take 3 clearing breaths in your child's pose all together. So inhaling through the nose, exhaling sigh out through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling sigh out through the mouth, inhaling through the nose, exhale sighing out through the mouth. Lovely. And then when you're ready, begin to walk yourself back up. We're going to slide onto our bums, we're going to spin ourselves around, and very slowly we're going to come to lie on our backs for a short Shavasana. So you've got choices here. You can lie back in Shavasana. However, if you prefer to finish your practice seated like we did at the beginning, you can do that as well. So very, very slowly begin to roll down, or you can of course roll onto your side and then come onto your back. And then maybe you just take the arms out to the side, the feet fall out, closing down the eyes. Letting the breath be soft. And if you have a couple of minutes, please stay here a little bit longer. I'm going to leave you here today just to enjoy, soak up
a special time of just having nothing to do and nothing to manage. Thank you so much for joining me, yogis. I hope to see you again soon.